Hey guys, welcome to lesson 1 on the Cartesian plane and coordinates. Now, if you think back to primary school, we would have been taught that this is the number plane, but seeing as we're in high school, we're going to start calling it the Cartesian plane after a mathematician called Descartes. And now we're going to note a few changes on the number plane, and that is the horizontal axis is now going to be called the x-axis, which we can see by the little x here. And the vertical axis is now going to be called the y-axis, which we can see by the little y here. Now, just like we've related, say, time and distance, we can relate anything by calling them x and y, so we can relate x and y together instead. We can also see that there are equal intervals between all the numbers, so the little jumps of units 1 on all sides, and we can see the center is 0, where we haven't gone up or down or left or right in any direction. And we can also see that the x values are positive on the right hand side of the y-axis, so x is positive in this direction, and it's negative in this direction. And then we can also see that y is positive in this direction and negative below the x-axis. Next, we're going to talk about ordered pairs. And ordered pairs are just coordinates. And they're called ordered pairs because we have to say them in a specific order, where the x-coordinate is labelled first and the y-coordinate is labelled second. And we see coordinates all the time, and we need to be able to interpret them because they're extremely important when we think about maps or construction sites, or even when we're just drawing a picture. So when we're labelling and interpreting points, they always read with the x and then the y. And the x tells us how far along the x-axis we are, and then the y tells us where up or down we are. So we're going to have a go at drawing some coordinates on the plane. And so, for example, if we have a coordinate A, which is negative 2 and 5, we can see that it goes 2 units to the left over to negative 2, and then 5 units up over here. So we'll label that A, minus 2, and 5. And then B, we have 3, 2. So x is first, so 3 units across, and then we're going to go 2 up. And this is going to be our B coordinate. We'll do a couple more. So C is going to be 4 minus 8. So we can see it goes 4 across, and then minus 8 down. And that's going to be C, 4 minus 8. Last one, so D, minus 5 minus 9. So that goes 5 to the left, and then 9 units down over to minus 9 over here. So that's D, minus 5, minus 9. And the last thing we're going to talk about is quadrants. So we can think about quadrants as quarters, and that just means a quadrant is a quarter of the Cartesian plane. So we can say that this is the first quadrant, where both x and y are positive. We can see values positive, positive. And then if we go anti-clockwise, we call this the second quadrant. Where x is always negative, we can see, and y is positive. And then we go anti-clockwise again. It's the third quadrant. And where x is negative again, and then y is also negative this time. And then one more time, and this is going to be the fourth quadrant.